Today I want to talk to you about staying strong in difficult times. First, let me just begin by saying on my last vlog, or the vlog, I think it was the last vlog I did, I talked about how there was a linchpin in my decluttering. Like, as an empty nester, I want to declutter. I have intentions to declutter, but I've been held back from that. And there, and it was because of some difficult times that we went through, and we've been through some difficult times again in the last few days. And I don't want to get into too much detail, but I'm going to share enough because I want to give you enough information so you kind of get it, because you're going through stuff too, right? A lot of people are going through stuff. So I just wanted to share with you how I'm staying strong and how I deal with stuff. And it goes back to self-care, and it goes back to giving yourself permission to take care of yourself and your own needs, even when things are not going well around you. And for people that you dearly, dearly love, you have to still take care of yourself. And I've shared this before, but I started very briefly. I started my vlog, because I'd had a health issue, and my doctors had told me you need to make some changes. Like, you've got to make changes. And so I shut down my business. My kids moved out because I became an empty nester. My youngest had moved out, or was getting ready to, and I was going to the gym with John, and I just started doing that. And I was kind of angry, and just I wasn't dealing with everything really well. My friends, I'd quit my business and quit working outside the home, and I'd never done that before, and all my friends were still working full-time and still out there and doing these great things. And I felt that FOMO, like fear of missing out. I felt like I was missing out and I wasn't doing enough, and I felt worthless, and I realized how much of my self-esteem was wrapped up into my achievements. That was a difficult time, but what I did is I found a way to tap into this value that I have of learning, this always wanting to learn something new and to expand my own awareness and expand what I knew I was capable of, and learn more about that. So I started my vlog, and because I was lonely, I'd seen Lori F&M Lifestyle, and she was doing her vlog, and that was my main inspiration. Was she just looked like somebody I would like to have coffee with. That was the honest truth. Like, she just showed up, and it helped me. I mean, it really helped me, because she just showed up, and she still shows up. She's celebrating her 13th year on YouTube. Lori, I just want to thank you. I mean, you really helped me, and I just felt like, she looked like somebody I could hang out with, and she became my friend. No, we've never met. If we had met, I think we could have coffee and we would have so much fun together. But that's how I felt. And I'm like, when she said, if anybody out there if you want to start a vlog, this is, jump on and do it. I'm like, yeah, I want to start a vlog. I want new friends. I want to be a part of this. So that's why I started my YouTube channel. And then, I just started working on creating videos, and I started learning something new, how to create videos. That really helped me through a very difficult time. It happened about 2 weeks after I started my vlog, and I'm like, okay, I'm strong. I can do this. Someone who was like a son to me committed suicide. And this devastated my life, and it devastated people close to me, and it devastated my family, my children, my husband. It was devastating, but I kept vlogging. Vlogging really helped me because I had this built-in community, and it just really, really helped me just have some connection to something bigger than me, so I didn't get lost and absorbed into all the stories that we can make up. And yes, I did have to deal with my feelings, and I did talk to someone, and I processed all of that. And you do have to have that support, which I did. I'm a firm believer in having a coach or a counselor, a spiritual counselor, or a psychologist, whatever you need to do that, and somebody who's qualified, of course, to do that. I'm not a counselor, I'm not a psychologist, so I can't speak to that. I'm sharing this. Yes, I'm a retired life coach. I have a lot of background in that, but I'm not qualified to give you advice. So this is why I'm sharing this as my own journey, like what I've done to deal with this stuff. So trauma and just difficult times were not new to me. I went through quite a bit of that growing up. So I already kind of knew, like, I had some coping skills. All right, let's see. So 2 weeks, into it, that happened. And the thing is, every picture that I have of my kids, everything that I like all of my memories. This boy, he was a boy, you know, like he came into our life when he was about in kindergarten, and then, you know, grew up with my kids. So he was like, you know, like just always there, and he was like a son to me. He was like a brother to my kids, and we did everything together. Holidays, we went on trips together. All of my pictures he's in there. I have a piece of furniture that used to belong to him that I couldn't let go of. I mean, my piano is, you know, the connection to my piano, and the reason I want to talk about my piano is this has been the linchpin in part of it, is that I hold on to things that help me cope, and music helps me cope. That's another thing that I've been able to, like, I can go to my piano and play music, you know, it's therapy for me, basically, a form of expression. It helps me to stay strong. The other thing I do is I go in the gym and I work out 3 to 4 times a week. That helps me to stay strong. I believe that you have to take a holistic approach to your own personal, like your foundation. And I always say that, you know, it's your mind, body, spirit, which is sort of like, that's sort of a buzzword that kind of most people get, but you're doing something that strengthens your faith, your spirit. You do something to keep your body strong, and you do something to, you know, to deal with your mind and your worry, your anxiety, your thoughts, your thinking, all the things, you know, you're imagining the worst. And mindfulness has really helped me, and meditation has really helped me. But one of the big things that helps me is going to the gym. And that really helped. I'm sure it really helped me through menopause too. I'm not kidding. But it really has helped me, like, to play music, and that feeds my soul, you know. You know, that's been a big help. And so I decided, about a week ago, that I'm going to get rid of my piano, which is, that was not easy. I cried over that one. It's still here, but I've put some feelers out, and I'm confident that I've found a good home for it. Nobody's committed yet, but I have a couple of feelers, and regardless of whether they want it or not, I've already committed to letting it go, and letting it go onto somebody who can use it. And why this is really, I'm able to do this now, is because I'm doing karaoke and singing, which is my first passion. I love singing. I'm not saying I'm the best at it, but isn't that the point? Is we find things that we love to do, and we do them for the joy of it. We need things in our life that we do just for the joy of it. Just for the joy of it. We don't have to be the best. We don't have to compete. None of that. And music is an area where I did consider doing something with music as a profession. I did teach kinder music for a while when my kids were young, and I really love that. I thought about going to school and becoming a music teacher. I even thought about, I had professional vocal coach work with me way back before I even got married or had kids, but I made the decision not to do that for various reasons. And music is an area where I get to express, and I like to go out there and do, put on like a karaoke song and just say, hey, let's sing. It's just, I think it's healing for a lot of people. So that has helped me, because that's my first passion. And now that I have that outlet, that way to express and deal with and process my feelings, and what I say, allow them to express through me and release them, because I think that's my personal opinion, what is going on, I can now let go of my piano, because the piano was just a tool so I could have music, so I could sing. My mom made me take piano lessons when I was a kid. She bought me a piano, and it wasn't anything I really wanted to do, and I never really wanted to do it other than it helped me to express. It was like a way for me to do that. I do have a keyboard though, and I can put my headphones on, and I still can play on my small little keyboard, which I will continue to do sometimes, but I'm ready to let my piano go. But that is another thing that has really gotten me through difficult times and helps me to strengthen my spirit. It feeds my spirit. It nourishes my spirit. It makes me stronger. Well, I also got rid of my Singer sewing machine. That's another thing. I was able to let that go. That was the sewing machine that I sewed all the kids' costumes on when they were growing up, and I liked sewing okay, but I like sewing because I was able to do something for my kids. And now I don't really have any intention to sew. I'd rather just sing or do something like that. I don't really want to sew. I'd rather be out hiking. So I'm discovering the things that I can do to feed, to fuel my heart and my soul. And sewing, I have the skill, and if I need to sew, I will go buy a new sewing machine, because my sewing machine is so old that it's like it doesn't even sew that well. I'm always like, it's such a headache to use, because I'll get to sewing and halfway through a project it jams up all the time, and I've tried to fix it, and it's just very old. So I donated my sewing machine. I'm letting go of things, and now that I've committed to letting go of my piano, which was one of the really difficult things, and I've let go of my sewing machine, I'm like, okay, everything else seems downhill. In a way. I mean, I still have to go through pictures and things, and right now I'm kind of in a tender place, because the last few days I have been confronted dealing with a person who's very, very close to me, extremely close to me, not my kids or my husband, but somebody very close to me, whom I love dearly, who has been on suicide watch and was actually going through that. And this has been really, really difficult the last few days. I have not been able to focus. I've not been able to put a video out. It has been really, really hard. And the thing is, I know that there's a lot of people dealing with this. I know this because I watch the headlines. I talk to people I know who have told me they know somebody who's going through this or went through this. And, and I've actually seen the effects up close and personal of how that affects a family generationally. Like, you don't get over that quickly. It's traumatic to deal with that, to say the very least, for the people who are left to pick up the pieces. I do want to say, if you are going through a difficult time, please go to your crisis center. Have the courage to do it. Please go to your crisis center. Ask for help. I know it doesn't sometimes seem like that's possible, but so that's all I'm going to say. Now, this person is doing really well and got some help, and, so it's, thank God. And now I'm a little bit more freed up to focus again, but I want to share this because one of the things I've realized is at least this time, we've all gone through difficult times. The last couple of years, I mean, nothing will ever be the same. I think we've all feel it. So I know that this is relatable, and I know that probably if you're watching this, you've gone through a really difficult time yourself. And I just want you to know that, hopefully with me being able to just come on the platform and speak from my heart, I hope that this resonates and for me I want to be an example of what it feels like to make a heart connection using technology. Like, that's what we can do with technology. There's a lot of really great things about social media, and there's a lot of really great things about this platform in particular, because if you want to know anything, you just do a little search and you can watch somebody show you a video on how to do almost anything. What you can't do is do a search and say, how do you fix a broken heart? It's not that simple. And you can't do a search and say, how do I feel love? Like, sure, there's a lot of information out there. There really is. And that's a good thing. But there's this other little niche, I think, that I hope I fall into, where we're vlogging and we're just here and we're showing up. Spirit. If I want to know how to do something, I need to learn some skill. There's an app for that. There's a YouTube video I can find, and it will help me learn. And that's a good thing. And if I want to get stronger in the gym, I can go and I can work in the gym, and which I'm getting ready to now. It's a really important part of how I cope. But I still got to feed my soul. I still have to feed I need to nurture my soul and my heart and soul. And my channel is all about that. So it's why I'm here. It's why I show up. And if I'm being completely honest, it's not because I feel like I have so much to offer. It's because I get so much back in return. And I hope that I'm able to offer something to you. I mean, really, that is my intention. So, and that's why I'm talking about this today, even though it is a very difficult thing to talk about. I'm continuing to use tools, and we're all, like I said, we're all going through changing times. We're all going through difficult times. This is just the way that I'm doing it. Staying strong in difficult times. It is not easy. And staying strong doesn't mean you have to handle everything. No, it doesn't. Sometimes the most courageous thing that you can do is to ask for help. So if you aren't feeling strong, take care of your heart, take care of your soul. Find somebody who can help you. But don't ever give up on yourself. Don't ever give up on yourself. We have to get back to self-love, like showing ourselves some love. It's one of the reasons I'm doing the High Five Habit with Mel Robbins this month. I'm reading her book. I'm not doing this with her. I'm reading her book, and I'm creating this habit. It's one of the reasons why I love Fly Lady, because I've seen some very, very depressed people use Fly Lady and get out of depression. Marla, the creator of FlyLady.net, is one of them that really used this, started creating better habits every day to help her through a difficult time. And that's what we do. That's how you get through the difficult times. It's not any big thing. It's the little things that you're able to do every day to show yourself some love, show yourself some grace, show yourself, let yourself off the hook. Ask for help if you need it. Life is a team sport. You can't go it alone. You can't. Did anybody watch Castaway? Remember Wilson, the ball? I mean, we go to that extreme. I mean, I know that was just a movie, but seriously, we're not designed to be isolated. We're not. So, and thank goodness we have technology that we can stay connected now globally. And there's so much heart and soul here on the platform, and I'm just so happy to be here and be a part of it. Now, I am using my Happy Planner, even though I said I wasn't going to be using my Happy Planner. Remember I said that on a couple videos ago in my Resetting 2023 Like a Sloth, because I've got all my appointments on my calendar, my digital calendar. What I realized is those are my to-dos, those are my routines, my appointments, those are my have-tos. So I got my pencil out, and it's in a pencil because I'm discovering I love writing with a pencil. I can erase, there's no pressure, I can just express whatever I want to. And so I've started using my Happy Planner to create the fun in my life, to make the space for my ideas and my fun, the fun things. And YouTube for me falls under this category. It's not a have to. YouTube for me is a want to. It's a fun thing. It nourishes me. I hope this has been helpful to you in some way. I want to thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this community. It means so much to me. And if you haven't subscribed, I hope that you will. If you like videos like this, please let me know. I do check in with the watch time on the algorithm, on the analytics, and I look at what people are watching, and I try to do more of that. So, but I love hearing from you. And I love the comment section. So if you do leave me a comment, I will be back to comment. I will respond. It might take me a few days because I am really committed to responding to every single comment right now. I don't want to just heart it. I'm not that big of a channel. Like, I have time to, you guys make the time to comment on my channel. I will make the time to respond to your comment because it means that much to me. You mean that much to me. So thank you so much for being here. I hope whatever you're going through, that you do the things you need to do to strengthen your mind, your body, and your spirit. We've got this. I'm not going to draw a card today, but sometimes I draw a card. You've got this. We've got this. So thank you for watching. Take good care, and I'll see you on the next one. All about the good vibes. I know you're all about the good vibes. Do you know how much I love you? Wanna see you smile. Where's that happy girl that I know with a heart on fire?